Oh, man, I've been waiting. Oh, I've been waiting. Cincinnati, how you doing? How ya feeling? You enjoying yourself? Did you have a good day? I hope you had a good day. I hope you enjoyed your time in the AFC Championship game because I got a nice little spot here for you. You see, I saved you a seat, you know. It's your colors. I saved you a seat because I knew eventually you were going to be sitting here. I predicted that you would be sitting here. Oh, man. I tried to warn you. I tried to be as objective as possible. I said, guys, I'm perfectly fine with fans trash talking, but when the players want to talk trash, that's when it goes too far. This level of arrogance and cockiness that you're showing could come back to bite you. I was getting comments like, you're just a salty Ravens fan that your team lost to us. You're sitting at home. You don't get to talk. Why do you mean it's cocky? It's only confidence. You're just saying that because we're at the top right now. I tried to give you a warning. I said I'm fine with the trash talk when it comes to the fans. But when the players are doing it, now you're wilding because now you're setting yourself up to fail. And I also said, hey, if that's what you guys want to do, cool. But you better win the game. Because if you don't win the game, you guys are going to be trash. And guess what? You didn't win the game. How about that? Hey, I got a message for you guys, Cincinnati. I was talking with Buffalo the other day, you know. I was talking with Buffalo the other day, and they told me to share a message with you guys because I told them how you guys were being cocky and arrogant and how you guys were you were just talking all this trash saying Arrowhead is Burrowhead. Your mayor's over here saying we got to get a paternity test to determine that Joe Burrow is the father of Patrick Mahomes. Y'all were talking mad trash. And I tried to warn you. I told Buffalo that. And Buffalo said, hey, they're not going to listen until they learn the hard way. So once they've experienced that failure and they've learned the hard way, make sure you pass on the message. They told me to pass this on to you. They'll see you in Cancun. Oh, they will see you in Cancun. Oh, man. Eli Apple, they are waiting for you. Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen are personally waiting for you in Cancun. Oh, they can't wait. They got so many stories to tell you, bro. They've been waiting on you. Woo! Woo! Man, this is fun. This is fun. You knew it was coming. You knew it was coming. You knew it was coming. I've been waiting for this moment. Oh, boy. So I hope you guys enjoyed your time in the AFC Championship game. I hope you guys had fun over there in Arrowhead. You talked your trash and you lost. Now, of course, in terms of the game, we're going to get into that. There was definitely a lot of things that happened there. And honestly, Cincinnati put up a great fight, so credit to them for what they were able to do. But at the end of the day, you lost. And I said if you lose the game, you were going to get clowned. And boy, are you guys getting clowned. You are getting completely clowned left and right. And all the Cincinnati Bengals fans are crying right now, and nobody gives a damn. Oh, man. Woo! This is fun. This is fun. Hey, man, what a time. What a time. So, yeah, Eli Apple, Stephon Diggs, and Josh Allen, they'll be waiting for you in Cancun. But before you do head off to Cancun, why don't you wait a couple weeks? You can either choose to go there now and come back or wait a couple weeks. I got a nice spot for you here. I want you to be here for the Super Bowl party. I want you to sit right here next to Baltimore to witness the Super Bowl party because that's where you're going to be. Ah, man, Cincinnati, huh? Who they? Well, I know who they are. They aren't going to the Super Bowl because they lost the damn game because they got so cocky, so they took a big L. Who they? They head into the offseason after taking a big L. How do you feel, Cincinnati? You wanted to run your mouth? You wanted to talk that trash? I tried to be reasonable. I tried to tell you guys, calm it down. Why is your mayor talking like that? Huh? Why are you taking these personal shots? The football gods don't like that type of karma, but you didn't want to listen. We're at the top. You don't want to see us succeed. You're just a salty Ravens fan. Okay, that's cool. I'll be salty as I sit right here and watch you guys lose. And man, what a way to lose. What a way to lose. Woo! That's a tough way to lose a game. That's a tough. You know that's a tough way to lose a game, and that every single Bengals fan is going to be crying for the next several months, and everybody's gonna laugh at them because it's gonna be funny because you ran your mouth. You wanted to get arrogant. You wanted to get cocky. Here you are. Here you are. Here you are. You lost. Come join us on the couch. Woo! All right. With that being said, let's actually get into the game. I had to spend that first 5 minutes getting out all of my frustrations and all my anger and all this energy I was holding up because I tried to be calm and reasonable, and I got backlash for saying you guys are getting a bit too arrogant. Calm it down with some of the things you're saying. I just had to speak my mind. So now that you're here with us, I hope you enjoy the Super Bowl party because you're going to be on that couch right next to us. And then after that, 1, 2, 3, Cancun. The Bills are waiting for you. So enjoy your offseason, Cincinnati. Try again next year, huh? But let's actually not waste any more time doing that. Let's get into the game. I actually brought out the Ravens jersey specifically because of this. But let's get into the game. So, in terms of the game, this actually was easily the best game we've had all postseason. This game came down to the wire. You had two high-level teams competing for a chance to go to the Super Bowl. Man, you couldn't ask for a better matchup than this. Cincinnati, Kansas City. Rematch of the AFC title game of last year where Cincinnati pulled off the upset and got to the Super Bowl. This time, Kansas City knew they had to get their revenge, and Cincinnati knew what the stakes were, and they came in fully prepared to play. Now, early on, Kansas City set the tone. I mean, the Chiefs came out there. They were sacking Burrow left and right. They were just making stops defensively. Burrow couldn't have a second to throw before he got dropped. That defense was getting to him quickly. And I'm like, they're going to have to make some adjustments because there's no way Burrow's going to have time to throw if he's getting hit every 2 seconds. You got to make some adjustments. First, you got to get the running game going. Joe Burrow's going to have to get the ball to his hands quickly. And then you got to make some adjustments on the offensive line in terms of how you guys are blocking in order to give this guy a shot to be able to make some plays. Luckily, Cincinnati's their offensive line was able to make those adjustments, which helped out. And because of that, Joe Burrow was able to have time, and he was delivering some great passes. He made some great throws in this game, so good on the offensive line. But early on in the game, Cincinnati was getting thrashed by the front seven of the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City came out with that energy, and they really showcased it. Meanwhile, offensively, the Chiefs were moving the ball down the field, but they just weren't putting up points. Like, they weren't scoring in the end zone. They were putting up field goals, but they weren't really putting up the type of points that would scare you. The first 2 to 3 drives, they were able to pick up 6 points of offense. And you would hope that they would be able to convert those for touchdowns. There was a play where early on it looked like Mahomes hit Tony in the end zone for a touchdown, but it was called back. They said it was incomplete, and then they challenged that, which was their first challenge of the game. They lost the challenge. It was ruled as an incomplete. They kicked the field goal there. So they had their opportunities, but they were unfortunately just unable to capitalize on those opportunities. So, they ended up having 6 points from 2 possessions where they could have easily had 14. But Cincinnati at some point was able to start waking up. After that first quarter of really not doing anything, the second quarter, Burrow went off. He threw for like 130, I think it was 134 or 135 passing yards in the second quarter alone. He started to dice up that Kansas City defense because his offensive line was starting to block for him. He was getting the ball out quicker, and they were able to make plays. And man, when I tell you this guy T. Higgins stepped up big, he stepped up big in the second quarter and was a huge factor in helping that team out to try and help get this game closer and closer. So, they start moving the ball down the field. However, they're unable to get into the end zone. They have to settle for 3. Next thing you know, Kansas City, they get the ball. It's a 6-3 game. They eventually go down the field, and Mahomes is just making magic happen throughout the entire field. And the touchdown pass, bro. The 2 people that stepped up, one for each team. T. Higgins stepped up for the Cincinnati Bengals. Valdez-Scantling stepped up for the Kansas City Chiefs. He stepped up. He stepped out in this game, man. Definitely stepped up. But we'll get into that. So they're going down the field. They're making magic happen. And next thing you know, we all saw it coming. We all knew it was coming. We all knew at some point they would connect. Mahomes is rolling to his right. They're trying to get this done. I believe it was 3rd down and 7. And they know if they don't convert this here, they're going to have to kick a field goal. And Mahomes just rolls. He sets his feet, fires downfield into the end zone. Travis Kelce catches the ball. Touchdown, Chiefs. All of a sudden, it's 13-3. Cincinnati has to go and respond. And the first half is winding down, and they got to make plays here. And, they got to go out there and make a play. And Burrow's moving the ball down the field until the ball gets tipped in the air, and Joe Burrow gets picked off. And when that interception happened, everyone's like, oh, no. Cincinnati's in trouble. Thankfully, their defense held up, and they put a lot of pressure on Mahomes, so he ended up throwing it out of bounds or not making accurate throws. And because of that, 3 incompletions later, Cincinnati gets the ball back, and they march down the field, and man, they're making big plays. Like, you have Joe Burrow just dicing up this defense, hitting T. Higgins. A big play down the field to T. Higgins to get them to the goal line. They had no timeouts left at this point. They were managing the clock relatively well. But T. Higgins was active on that drive. And they got to the goal line, and unfortunately, they weren't able to get in the end zone. So because of that, they weren't able to score a touchdown. They score a field goal. They go into halftime down 7. So you come out of halftime, and it's a 7-point game. It's 13-13, and you see Kansas City get the ball. They're not able to do anything with it. Cincinnati gets the ball, and they come out fierceful. They go down the field and score a touchdown. They run it into the end zone for a touchdown. Actually, no, I don't believe that was the running into the end zone for a touchdown. I believe that was, what was it? I believe that was the touchdown to T. Higgins. So it was a third down play. I believe they sent pressure. The blitz was coming, and Joe Burrow threw one of the most perfect balls I've seen him throw the entire season. He put it right where he needed to be. T. Higgins utilized his size, went up, caught it with both hands perfectly in the end zone, like backpedaling into the end zone, touchdown, and all of a sudden this game is tied. I'm like, wow, that's a hell of a throw and a hell of a drive by Cincinnati. Tie game here. Kansas City has to get the ball, and they got to retaliate. So more time's going on the clock, and eventually Kansas City is able to get down the field again thanks to the efforts of Valdez-Scantling, who, again, really started to emerge in that second half. In fact, he had one hell of a touchdown catch. Mahomes, the pocket's collapsing, pressure's coming. The dude's stepping up. As he's starting to fall, he throws the ball perfectly to a Valdez-Scantling that's falling back, and he's kind of sitting at the end zone, and he catches it. The Cincinnati, I think it was a safety that's coming across the field, almost gets a hand on it, but he's just a bit too late. Caught by Valdez-Scantling as he's falling into the back of the end zone right there, just falling into the end zone. Touchdown, Kansas City. And just like that, they take the lead. Cincinnati gets the ball back. They're not able to do anything with it. Burrow's getting pressured again. He's got to get the ball out. It's not happening. He gets sacked. All of a sudden, Kansas City has the ball. They're up 7. It's 20-13, and they're moving the ball down the field. And everyone's like, uh-oh. If Kansas City goes up double digits, this could be over. Bro. As that is happening, Mahomes, I don't know what happened here, but Mahomes fumbled the ball. He had the football in his hands and then just fumbled it. He just like, as he started, just released like that. He straight up fumbled it, and it was crazy. He fumbles it. It gets recovered by Cincinnati, and Cincinnati takes over right there. Joe Burrow will then proceed to take that offense down the field, and they will score a touchdown, run it into the end zone. Touchdown, Cincinnati, tie game, 20 apiece. Now it's just a back and forth. I mean, it's just a back and forth affair. Mahomes is trying to get them down the field. They're not able to get there. Burrow's trying to get them down the field. They're getting stopped. It's a back and forth affair. We're in the fourth quarter. It's all tied up. They're going back and forth. No one's able to get anything. They're trying to do something. And as the clock winds down, Cincinnati has an opportunity prime with the ball. I believe under 5 left to go. They have the football in their hands, and they're going down the field to try and kill this clock, score a touchdown, and take the lead. And this is where things got tough, man. And again, I want to be able to say this clearly. The 2 interceptions that happened with Joe Burrow were not his fault specifically. Both those passes were tipped, so they were great defensive plays. However, people are going to blame him for throwing those interceptions. That's just how things go. So the first interception happened early on, not early on, but in the first half. It happened in the first half, and it definitely did somewhat change the game. This second pick that happened here in the second half was definitely difficult, man. It was very tough. It was very tough because Joe Burrow couldn't have thrown a better ball. That play right there was the play of the game. So I believe it was, third down here? Joe Burrow threw a deep pass to T. Higgins. And let me tell you right now, this throw was perfect by Joe Burrow. It was going to be right in the breadbasket. An over-the-shoulder throw. If nobody messes with that football, T. Higgins catches that perfectly in stride. He goes into the end zone. touchdown, Cincinnati. They take the lead 27-20. What ends up happening is the play of the game. And one can make the argument it's the play of the season for Kansas City. It's the play of the playoffs. The ball gets perfectly tipped as it's about to fall in the pockets of T. Higgins. The ball gets perfectly tipped. I mean, the defender put his hand up at the right moment and he put it in the right position at the right moment at the right time. He timed this perfectly. The ball gets tipped, popped in the air, picked off, 2 interceptions on Joe Burrow there, and Kansas City takes over. Now the Chiefs have an opportunity to go down the field and win the game with potentially a game-winning touchdown or a game-winning field goal. They are unable to do so. So guess what happens? Cincinnati gets the ball. We've reached the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes left to go. Cincinnati has timeouts. It's up to them to be able to go down the field, score a field goal, and win this game. They're unable to. They're unable to. And because they're unable to, they got to punt the football back to Mahomes. Mahomes and the offense get the ball back. They start marching down the field. They're around midfield because they got a great kick return. So the clock's winding down. We're under a minute. They're marching. They're right at the cusp of field goal range, but they're not there. With under 15 left to go, Mahomes scrambles to his right. He takes off, and he goes out of bounds. But Asai, one of the defensive players for the Cincinnati Bengals, number 58, Asai, he runs into Mahomes, hits him when he's out of bounds. Penalty right there. Now, I will talk about the penalties, but I wanted to get the game out the way. Penalty right there. That right there is unnecessary roughness. You hit the quarterback when he was out of bounds. That was a complete valid flag. Personal foul, 15-yard penalty. Kansas City gets right into field goal range. 8 seconds left. Obviously, Kansas City has no timeouts. They're not wasting their time. They bring Buckner out there to kick a 45-yard field goal. Homeboy kicks it right through the uprights. It's good, and the Kansas City Chiefs are heading to the Super Bowl. Now, there were some things I didn't address there. One, I didn't address some of the challenges that were being thrown out there. Like Cincinnati wanted to challenge a certain play, but I mean they were unable to. They weren't able to, so it kind of came back. And I talked about the first challenge early on the touchdown that Kansas City chose to throw out there, which on a Tony touchdown, and it didn't work. But the second one, I believe, was a Valdez-Scanley stretch because it was a third down play, and he stretched to get the first down. They ruled it as 4th and 1, but he stretched. They chose to go for it there. They chose to throw a challenge instead of going for it. They won the challenge successfully, and they picked up the first down. That second challenge was a crucial call for Kansas City. So they were able to manage certain things happening here. So that was one thing I wanted to address. The second thing I wanted to address, and the most important thing I wanted to address, was the officiating in this game was awful. Now, the officiating throughout the entire season was terrible. But this one today, I'm still scratching my head. And if there's any Bengals fan, honestly, I know I legitimately went off at you at the beginning of the game, at the beginning of this video. I was rigging on you at the beginning of the game if you were in the live stream. I was talking mad trash. I'm like, boy, I hope you guys lose today. But, in the beginning of this video, I know I did straight up come at you guys, and I'm just laughing at your downfall and your loss. But honestly, I said this in the live stream. I don't blame any Cincinnati Bengals fan to be mad at how the officiating went, because legitimately, we had a whole interaction where it's a third down play. Cincinnati makes the stop because Mahomes throws it. It's caught by Kelsey, picks up like 5 yards. It's 4th down and 4. So they make a stop. First of all, actually, before that even happens, they said the clock wasn't fully set, right? No. I think that happened first. They had that first third down play, right? So that happens, and it looks like Mahomes and the others are heading out of here. All of a sudden, the refs come up and say, no. It's not set. We have to go and redo this again. And I'm confused. Actually, no. I believe this happened earlier. They were trying to get the ball set to see get the ball set in the right place and to start the play clock where it needed to be, correct? And then they said they got it, right? So they allowed the third down to initially happen. Apparently, there was a ref running on the field, and nobody noticed it. So the third down play happens. Cincinnati makes the stop, but because the refs were there and they said the play was already blown dead, Kansas City had a second opportunity to go for it. So Kansas City had 2 attempts on a 3rd down and 9. That's unfair. And it really made people feel like the officials were definitely on Kansas City's side. And it left people very skeptical because the officiating in this game was awful. And there was some moments where these penalties were really leaning towards Kansas City's favor. So I can't even front about that. I would be pissed if I'm a Bengals fan because the officiating in this game was garbage. So they basically gave Kansas City 2 free attempts at a third down. And of course, what ends up happening on the second third down attempt? Eli Apple gets called for a penalty. Automatic first down. So things start going that way. And because of that, things start getting crazy. And people were just pissed. People were pissed left and right. And it's unfair. It's unfair, and I get that. But, it is what it is at the end of the day. What didn't cost you the game, what cost you the game wasn't that penalty because you still ended up making the stop and Kansas City still ended up punting the football. What cost you was the crucial penalty that Asai made on Patrick Mahomes when he was out of bounds. If that play doesn't happen, there's a good chance they don't get into field goal range. Now, maybe they do. But that play literally ended your season. And I feel bad for Asai because he was in tears, man. You hate being the type of person that ends the season for your team. So it was unfortunate. Anyway, that was really all I wanted to cover here. Kansas City heads on to the Super Bowl. Once again, I want to give a huge congratulations. If I already haven't congratulated you, I want to give a huge congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs for making it to the Super Bowl. Congratulations for advancing to the Super Bowl. You guys will be taking on the Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl in Arizona on February 12th. That should be a fun time. That should be a great time. Let's see how these two teams are going to go at it. And at the end of the day, one of these quarterbacks is going to add to their legacy. Mahomes will end up with having 2 rings, or Jalen Hurts will get his first ever championship. We'll see what happens. Either way, this should be a fun time. Should be a great time. Cannot wait to see how the Super Bowl goes. As for Cincinnati, your season ends here. It was a tough way to lose. It was a painful way to lose. But at the end of the day, you guys still have a great team. You got a great roster. You got a great defense. You got weapons all around. Joe Burrow is still Joe Burrow. You guys will be fine. You're going to compete for many years to come in the AFC. Don't know if you're going to get back to the AFC title the next year. We'll see. But, based on how you played this year, you guys look like you're primed to get back there every single year. But we'll see. There's going to be some hella competition going out throughout the AFC for the next several years, with Baltimore getting healthy, the Chargers, the emergence of the Jaguars. Obviously, Kansas City's still going to be there. Buffalo. There's going to be other teams to compete, but, Cincinnati has definitely shown that they're one of the top right now, and if they continue to play the way they were playing for much of this season, they should be relatively fine. When you get back to the AFC title game, if you do next year, to be more cautious about some of the things you guys did and some of the mistakes you made here. So, it is what it is at the end of the day, but, that's just how it goes. So, enjoy the offseason, I guess. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we are down to 1 game. The NFL season has pretty much come to an end. All that's left is a Super Bowl. Of course, we got that Pro Bowl situation next week, but who the hell really cares? All that's left is a Super Bowl. We're down to 2 combatants, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. The Super Bowl should be fun. It should be interesting. I have no idea how it's going to go, but hey, those 2 teams are going to give it their all. And then at the end of the day, one team is going to be crowned the champion. So we'll see what happens. With that being said, that is all I got, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a fun ride talking about this game. Cincinnati, go cry at home, I guess. I don't know. You can go cry. And, cry, get all the tears you need to get out. Wipe them tears. Come join us on the couch, and we can enjoy the Super Bowl together. And after that, you can head over to Cancun to go see Buffalo because they're definitely waiting for you, especially you, Eli Apple. They're definitely looking for you, Eli. They're waiting for you. With that being said, that is all I got, and I'm out of here, man. Peace!